You're going to start by painting the background, what's farthest away. So just the solid blue that's behind our swirling wind and our moon and our stars. And then the ground that the snowman and tree are on, so just the white snow, the hills of white snow behind it. So I have drawn on my paper my horizon line, another little hill, and I'm going to start with just a little bit of the lighter blue, the darker blue, and some white on my plate. I've scooped that from the cup in the middle of the table, and I'm going to start with my lighter blue here, going across my horizon line and filling in. You want to do brush strokes that are horizontal, so the sky and the ground look like they're sitting flat. If we do vertical, it kind of makes things look like they're standing up. So horizontal brush strokes, trying to keep that paint nice and thick. You don't want to press too hard and get streaks of the white paper showing through. And we're going to make the sky darker at the top, but I want the light blue to go a little further so it's easy to blend. You have to overlap the two colors to make them blend together. So lighter blue, and now I'm going to start picking up the darker blue. I did not clean my brush. Darker blue here at the top, bringing it close to the lighter blue, and when they overlap, keep going back and forth so they blend together. Darker blue over here, bringing it down to the lighter blue. And in the end, I want my brush strokes to go all the way across the page, because if you stop in the middle, you end up seeing that abrupt line of your brush stroke. You don't want to see that. I have a little white space here, cover that up. So my sky now has a change in value. It's gradually going from dark blue to light blue, and it's time to move on to these two hills of snow. I have some color on my brush. I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit. I still want some of that blue on there because this hill that's behind this one needs to be darker. So I'm going to use a little bit of the blue that's on my brush, picked up a little bit of white paint, and it's going to change the color of that white to a lighter blue. Nice clean edge here between the sky and your ground. So get a nice clean edge going all the way across, and then you can start filling it in. Again, horizontal brush strokes. And it's okay if you see some areas of white and you see some areas of blue. It doesn't have to be one solid light blue color. In fact, it makes it more interesting, gives it a little bit of texture if there's some white and some blue in it. So going all the way over to this line I drew for the hill of snow that's closer to me. So there's the second hill, and the one that's closer to me, just picking up the white. And I'm going to blend whatever's in my brush of the blue that's left over into my white paint. I want to make sure the top of this hill is a little more white so it stands out next to the hill that's behind it. So pressing lightly with my brush. I don't want to push too hard. If you push hard, you're going to get some of that blue that's stuck in the bristles of the brush. If you press hard, see how it comes out? You don't want to do that here at the top of the hill. Press lightly with the white, so it's white at the top of that hill, and then maybe it's a little more blue down here. Covering the whole paper. I know the paper's white, but you still want to cover it with your white paint so it all looks the same, going all the way across down to the bottom. So whether you finish or not, at the end of class, your paper, along with somebody else from your table, is going to go on a board and onto the drying rack. Brushes need to be cleaned, so you're going to swirl them around in the bucket, even roll it on the wall of the bucket. So I'm just spinning my hand. Get all of the paint off your brush to test. And the reason we have to do this is because there's plastic in this paint. It's acrylic paint. And if that plastic paint stays in the brush, it will harden the brush. Wipe it on the edge. Wipe it on my paper towel. So if that plastic dries in the brush, it'll ruin the brush. So I don't see any paint on my paper towel, so this can go back on the tray. Paper plate, dirty newspaper goes in the garbage. If there's a class after, you get a clean piece of newspaper.